home without you, buddy.
Alrighty, hello, everybody. Where's my finger? There it is. Okay, all right. So, I just got out of Supergirl an hour ago. Yeah, like an hour ago.
Yeah.
So, for the most part, also it's pretty fresh on it. So, I'm before we even get into opinions on it, I'm just going to start out saying that y'all need to be upset about different things.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm not saying this movie is a masterpiece, but I walked in expecting to see people's children massacred on screen for how bad I was told this movie was.
Oh my gosh.
And then I walked in and I saw a movie that is comparable to some of the second best movies that are in the entirety of the first four phases of Marvel.
Yeah.
But yet, because a certain guy isn't in charge of them, they have to hate these films more. Which is the reason why a lot of those films in Marvel don't get the shit that this would get if those had a DC label on them.
Yeah.
And that's unbelievably stupid.
Unbelievably.
That's crazy.
Anyway, so, before we get started on this, what was everybody's opinion on Superman?
Loved it.
Yeah.
As did I.
I had some criticisms of the movie, but overall, though, I would say that I had a really good time. I enjoyed it a lot, and I loved it. So, yeah.
I love that movie enough that I saw it 4 times in theaters.
I think I saw it 3.
Understandable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the only reason
great.
I haven't rewatched it is just because life is just busier now.
No, I get you.
Yeah, life is lifing right now for me pretty harsh.
David Cornsweet showing up in this movie again, like, cements
Effortless.
how good he just is at being Superman.
Oh, yeah.
That whole scene of them in the pod where he's like, you understand... Are you okay? I don't know why I'm talking louder. Gosh, I'm so sorry.
He's so, like, he captures the traditional Clark very well.
This reminds me of... This feels like I'm watching George Newbern, but in live action.
It does.
It feels like animated series Superman just there.
It's a combo of George Newbern...
and Jack Quaid. From My Adventures.
Oh. I haven't really seen that.
But
Jack Quaid does his voice in that?
Yeah.
Yep. And he's really good.
That's a really odd choice for me for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, I'll watch it.
But yeah, it cements it, man.
Like...
If you don't like him, you just don't. You just literally hate anyone that's not Henry Cavill at this point.
So it's a combo of, now I remember who I was gonna say. Combo of George Newbern, Tim Daly, and Christopher Reeve to me.
Yeah.
It's like the trifecta. He's capturing all the elements that they captured as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a lot better at being, this is no offense to Christopher Reeve, I feel David is better at emoting certain things than Christopher Reeves was.
Yeah.
Like, Christopher Reeves always played him as, like, very, like, stoic, plain-faced.
He's stoic, yeah.
In that, but, like, David fully, like, articulates the fact that at heart, Clark is a bit of a goofball nerd, like, and I appreciate the shit out of that.
I think it was a different time, too.
Oh, 100%.
Because it was supposed to be, like, stoicism wasn't so, it didn't mean that you were, like, unemotional all of the time.
No.
But it was just that, presenting that for, like, that sort of, like, stoicism, meaning, like, you're a good guy, you're unflappable, and David Cornsweet is not quite unflappable.
No, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate that as well.
Yeah, exactly. The whole at the beginning of Superman where he's like, and he went blank, blank, and blank amount of time without losing a single fight until 30 minutes ago. He's just boom, and he crashed into the crowd. Anyway, going into this, I haven't read Girl Tomorrow in.
Woman of Tomorrow, yeah.
Woman of Tomorrow.
I haven't read that.
I've read it one time.
I haven't read it for a very long time.
Because it was suggested to me. Because it's legitimately the only Supergirl comic I've read outside of some stuff in the New 52 and things I've looked up on my own. Because when I watched outside, like, obviously, then when Supergirl started, I had to be like, that doesn't feel like what I read in the New 52. And then me thinking I'm going to compare things to the New 52 isn't a good thing to do in a lot of context. But then I went back, I'm like, is it just me, or does it not feel like they should be the same person? And then a lot of people I talked to were like, no, they aren't the same person, because the animated versions I grew up with line up more with this than what I was seeing on the CW. And I'm like, she doesn't have grit to her, which what Supergirl should have. And then went back and read more after, and yeah.
Yeah, before the CW show, my two of my first introductions to Kara were Superman the Animated Series.
Yes.
And the Superman Batman movie Apocalypse. Which
that movie is so fucking good.
Yeah, that's the one I think has the best. That, and also I also really like Smallville's version of Kara.
Oh, they're in my opinion, honestly, even with the fact that the CW is basically just Superman with a skirt on, it was still fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Like, to this day, I don't think I've seen a better shot in anything involving Supergirl than at the very end of that Apocalypse movie when they're having the fight at the barn, and then it comes back and Supergirl's fighting with him, and he shoots the Omega Beam, and she flips around, puts the cape over his head, and slams him into the Omega Beam.
So good.
It's so fucking great. I'll pay you back for that on a reporter's salary. Yeah, okay. God, I miss Kevin Conroy. All right. So there was a little factoid that gross, that someone had to point out to me, that this Supergirl movie is the most highest grossing Supergirl movie that there is.
You know what? It's a win.
And I went back and I looked at how much did the old one? And I was like, oh, it didn't even make $15 million.
Oh my god.
So take the wins where you can get them.
That reminds me of the Mortal Kombat 2 thing also.
Yeah.
That happened this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's it didn't make a lot, but it made more than the other Mortal Kombats, so that's a win.
It is a win. As long as they keep chipping away. It's kind of like with the Resident Evil movies. They never destroyed the box office, but they made enough to justify making another one.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So, I guess, what did everybody really like about this movie?
Millie.
I think the most tangible positive for me is Millie Alcock.
Millie. Yeah.
Millie's great.
For sure.
She genuinely pulled off the party girl that still has a good heart to her. She's just gone through a lot of shit and doesn't know how to process it.
Yes, I agree.
And go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that her relationship with Ruthie in the movie, I thought was actually pretty good in terms of adapting that element of the story. I thought that they did a pretty decent job of that. Because at first she starts off as oh god, this annoying kid.
Yeah.
And and I mean it's by design, even in the comics Ruthie was kind of annoying at first.
Yeah.
But then became much more, interesting.
It is. And
yeah, I liked their dynamic. It reminded me, yes, it's definitely, this is the space version of True Grit, but I was also kind of reminded of Iron Man 3 for a little bit.
A little bit.
There is a little bit of that, yeah.
There's a little bit of that.
For sure.
Now, I have to ask you guys something, because this is, again, people, One of my biggest hates of people that talk on the internet about movies, and yes, this is me on a video talking about movies, saying that I hate people that talk about movies on videos, but you can't have a superhero movie in space now without it just going, this is a Guardians of the Galaxy ripoff. And it really irritates me to my fucking soul that people can't come up with actual criticisms anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, like, did space movies just not exist before Guardians?
No.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
apparently not. If you have a superhero
Apparently
in
not.
space, it's just Guardians. And if there's jokes being cracked, then it's absolutely a Guardians movie.
Like, to me, this had more in common with, like The Fifth Element, or
I could see that. Yeah,
or,
for sure.
or like other sort of space westerns.
Well,
Yeah.
that was kind of an interesting thing that they did here in making more alien characters than were in the Woman of Tomorrow comic, because in the comic there's a lot of humanoid characters as well as aliens, but there are a lot of humanoids. Krem himself is less of an alien,
Yeah, he's
or
a
less
dude-
alien in appearance.
He's a
in
dude
the
with a
comics.
sword arm and orange hair.
Yeah. And that was by design as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it's interesting because there are some very, like, there's sort of baked in differences between the two, and
Yeah.
but I think that you kind of have to do that when it's an adaptation.
Yeah.
It just comes with the territory.
And I'm going to be honest with you, I think it was better off, for the sake of you're having a space movie,
Yeah.
that she's going from planet to planet looking for Crypto's cure, to not have everyone look like a human.
Yeah. Did you think it was odd that they were seeing the girl from Ipanema in the bar, in the alien bar? I thought it was a little odd.
Like, how would they know that song?
It's
I mean, maybe somebody put it in one of those recordings that NASA sent off into space or
Yeah.
something, and then these people just found it, and they, like, the alien worlds found it and liked it a lot and decided to.
it's
I mean, then again,
sing
music does bring people together.
It does.
That could mean on an intergalactic level.
absolutely.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't Drake. But
Oh, yeah.
But
At least.
yeah, I did appreciate the showing the stuff with Argo City,
Oh,
like
yeah.
like
Very
the
good.
bottom end of it transforming into kryptonite and like literally radiating
Yeah.
the city out. I liked that a lot.
Because I was thinking that they saved it in a bubble, like that's gonna have unintended consequences.
Yeah, and there was this, like, it's so much different than what, like, you saw in Supergirl. It's like, no, we're actually, like, fine, and it's pretty, and it's got blue skies, and it's awesome. Like, no, this sucks. Like,
Yeah.
crap's gonna go bad. We just busted off a chunk of the planet thinking nothing bad was gonna happen. And I actually kind of liked, if I'm gonna be really honest, that she was only Supergirl in costume for, like, 20 minutes.
Yeah, same.
Because this was more of a Kara movie than a Supergirl movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. To where, kind of like you said it earlier, Iron Man 3 is a Tony Stark movie, not an Iron Man movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, by design. And I appreciate when they do that every now and then.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh. You're gonna get an upcharge for this, sir. We have starting times for a reason.
I'm sorry. Blame Ellie. It was her fault. She was.
All right, so we haven't been going for too long, but we were talking about our overall positives of the movie. If you want to chime in with your overall bigger positives of it.
I liked it overall. Oh,
There any for just specific things we're going on about? We haven't gone through like plot details and all that stuff,
Okay.
just overall things.
yeah. I mean, I liked it overall. I definitely I watched it for a second time yesterday. I was definitely a little bit less harsh on it, but Yeah, I mean, I thought it was like disappointing overall, but there's definitely a lot of things in it that I liked. I mean, Millie is great in the role.
Oh yeah, Millie was fantastic.
Yeah, I think at the end it was really just kind of like just script issues and a couple things that like just needed a little bit more. I was the word like focused on.
Fleshing out.
Yeah, flesh out.
Yeah, yeah, I could say that. There was parts where why is the only movie only like an hour and a half long?
Yeah,
Hour 50.
Hour 50. No, it only felt like it was an hour and a half. It felt like the movie shot by. I felt like it could have used a little bit more. I don't. It's hard for me to say that a movie needs to be over 2 hours, but a little bit could have helped in certain areas. I genuinely loved every second that Lobo was on screen. Like as much as I liked their version of Aquaman for the very different version that he was, I'm very okay with seeing him being Lobo versus this because I can actually tell sometimes when an actor's enjoying what they're doing versus acting in a movie when they're getting a paycheck. I'm watching him have fun in this movie.
Something I really picked up on the second time I saw the movie was I really like his dynamic with Ruthie as like something I would have wanted is for Kara and Lobo to be a little bit more of like the angel and the devil on Ruthie's shoulders. Mm-hmm. And I kind of noticed that more the second time when they're both in the prison.
Yeah, that scene in the prison is fantastic. He was a perfect little foil character just to have around. Like before I saw the movie, I had people saying that there was legitimately no point of Lobo being in this movie. I'm like, did you watch the same movie that I did?
that's kind of how I felt the first time around, because honestly, I felt like he was just he was basically just fan service. Like,
Yeah, but if we're gonna go down that route, then we could criticize 95% of all movies ever made.
yeah, that's definitely like what I felt at first because after I watched it for the first time, I was basically like he's like basically in like he doesn't really affect the plot at all. Like if you just take him out, there's not really it doesn't affect the movie that much. But after my second time, I'm like, okay, yeah, I mean, I definitely could have used him more, but that's definitely how I felt like at first.
Yeah, he was a great kind of. There's a great. I don't want to say the ending right away, but we're gonna get to it because Mike's actually going to appreciate it because it's gonna make me bring up the Owl House because there's very few properties that do a thing that this movie did and that the Owl House does, and it disappoints me to my core that more movies don't do it. But for things that I did like, I liked all of the music in this movie. I'm going to be openly honest with you. Going into this movie, again, like I told them before you got on, people were acting like they literally had their children killed in front of them for how bad this movie was. And this movie was good, in my opinion. Did it blow my brain as the most Shakespearean masterpiece ever? No, and people need to stop expecting that from every fucking movie that they see. And it was good. Now, in the ending, in the scene where I heard about the worst musical number drop in the history of cinema, y'all need to go watch some more movies. Because if that is the bar for the worst thing you've ever seen in your life, I think you've seen 4 movies in your entirety of your lifetime. Now,
And here's the thing. I think I said this on the last Zeroing Out, but the song itself is actually really good.
perfect.
It's actually really good. Yeah.
The song choice and the meaning behind that song could not be more perfect. Now, I think realistically, the only reason it feels off for some people is because of what the tone of the movie was leading up to that.
Yes.
But in the context of the actual song and the meaning for the character, I'm kind of blanking on what other songs, if you're going to drop a number and change the tone a little bit to Mitch, that actually fit better than that.
I'm actually curious as to what the alternative song was to that because
I don't
they
know.
say that there was one. and I'm
I'd
curious
love
as to
to
what that
know.
is. Me
All I
too.
read was, or they just had like literally like 30 or 40 different music choices they were
my
kind of just
gosh.
cycling through
Jeez.
because they were
Yeah.
there was like a bunch of what's the word because the composer, they got switched over a couple times, and I read that James Gunn kind of helped Craig kind of choose it in the
Okay.
end, because I read that they were like kind of struggling a lot to find like kind of something that would fit.
Yeah, I from the things that I've read, which again, it can be what's true and what's true. I felt like there was a lot of struggling with kind of parts of the ending of this movie for
Yeah.
what editorial wise, and you could see that a little bit. Overall, I wasn't upset with it, but I could tell
No.
that there was kind of like parts trying to fix it. No, they overall to me still fit good, but you could kind of tell where they're like, we know what we want to do, we just don't know how to do it completely. And speaking of the ending, I guess I will say it. Mike, what happens to the main villain of the Owl House at the end?
Dude gets stepped on.
Dude gets stepped on. What happens 20 seconds before that?
Luce just walks away.
He begs Luce to not kill him because she's a good person. Luce walks away, and then Ada, King, and
Rain.
Rain come up and go, "We aren't," and then stomp the shit out of him. When when they have Ruthie go like, "No, you're not gonna kill him. You are still okay. You go walk away before you change your mind." And then she goes back, "You know that's not gonna save her. Something else can." And then Kara basically goes, "That girl can have a better life. I already have fucked up shit to deal with. I'm just putting this in the same bucket. I'm fucking killing you." There needs to be more media where they realize that heroes can still take care of a problem, but there's some heroes that are more okay with dealing with said problem while still
Yes.
letting the innocence of other heroes stay there.
Yeah.
Yes.
That never happens anymore, and it
That's-
irritates me.
That
Also-
was Wolverine's thing, like, the entire time during Claremont's run in the 80s and 90s and stuff. I mean, like, that was just how he was presented. Mm-hmm. The conscience of the X-Men, as they called him before. You know, like, I mean, he was the guy who would make the tough decisions. He's the one who would do stuff like that. Giles did it for Buffy.
Yeah, they need to do that more. It's really nice
mean-
to just see, guess what? We are all heroes, but some heroes don't want to fucking put up with you anymore, and I'm not going to make them make the hard decision.
That's
We need to
right.
do that
One
more.
thing I really
And it
liked about,
differentiates her from
Yes!
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I really like is how so far in the DCU, it's like the women who are perfectly
Or
okay
more
with killing.
brutal.
Yes.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I
true.
hope this continues. If Superboy or anyone else shows up, there's something that was in Superman and there was something in this movie. I love how unbelievably disrespectful when you actually get a Kryptonian in a fight that they will be with their opponents. In Superman, he was beating other people with the bodies of the opponents. And then Kara started doing the same damn thing in this movie. I love when Kryptonians go, "Oh no, I'm done being nice. I'm going to beat your ass with your best friend." I want Kryptonians to keep doing that shit. It's disrespectful and I love it.
Not just Kryptonians, but any like strong alien creatures. Like, I'm excited for when we eventually get to see Mongol in the DCU.
That would be cool.
Oh, it is. It's gonna happen. It's just we have to see those fucking stupid.
If anybody
mergers.
would do that, it would be James Gunn.
It would be.
If anybody.
I'm very okay with the fact that, again, superheroes cannot kill you, but they can make you regret the fact that you ever messed with them. I very much appreciate. It's a photo of like Spider-Man, Daredevil, Moon Knight, and Batman, where it says they won't kill you, but your hospital bills will. I'm very okay with those kind of heroes. Like, hey man, help me. No. I told you to stop doing this and you didn't, and now you're gonna wish I killed you.
Yeah.
And also the I know I've said it with Mike. I know I've said it with Kiona. I know I've said it on the podcast. So Taylor's probably heard it 100 times. There's very few moments in comics history, animated or not, that I love than the World of Cardboard speech at the end of Justice League.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Where then he breaks all matter of reality when he destroys Darkseid. And he's like, you can take it, can't you, big guy? You need to have moments where they're just like, no, I'm okay to beat the fuck out of you and it won't kill you, so I'm going to actually let loose for once.
Yep.
We need to do that more. All right. Is there
Kind
any
of
other...
similar to Batman Begins, with like I don't have to.
I don't have to. No, I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. That moment to me gets ripped. That I've seen everyone rip that moment to shreds, making a Batman a hypocrite. No, he's not.
He's given him the choice to save himself. He's like, dude, if you can, go ahead, save yourself. I'm not going to be responsible for you.
Also, in this same movie, Ra's al Ghul survived an exploding building that fell off a mountainside.
They did.
If Ra's wanted to make it out of that train, he could have. But before we go through exact plot points that we did or whatever, is there any more positives before we go into negatives?
Did I miss the Lobo thing?
Oh, I said I loved Lobo.
Okay, yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
I thought Jason Momoa was great.
Yeah, I brought up that some people didn't like him or thought he wasn't needed, and Taylor brought up that through his first showing, he kind of felt that way, but then liked it later on.
I can understand that, but like I don't mind people having critiques of the movie at all by any means, but like in terms of how I felt about him, I thought he was great. I thought it was slightly different than what I was expecting in a way.
He wasn't as maniacal, do you think, as you were expecting?
Maybe not quite as maniacal, maybe not quite as Wolverine-esque, like comic book Wolverine-esque, but he was still Lobo.
Oh yeah.
And he still threw in a bunch of bastages, and I love him for that. So
hearing Bastage live in
hearing
action
that
was
live
awesome.
is amazing.
Like, he had the bike, he had the hook and everything.
Yes.
I was having a discussion with a friend of mine after I got out of the theater while I was waiting to go live here, and I was talking about, like, hey man, do you remember when they twinkified him in the New 52?
Oh god.
And then my buddy goes, my buddy goes, I tried to forget about that. I'm like, hey, do you know who would have played him 1,000% if he would have been in a DC movie? That would have had Jared Leto written all over it.
Oh jeez.
But
God, we got Lobo.
Again, watching Lobo off in the distance when Ruthie walks away and he's just like waiting to see what happens, and she stabs him in the throat and he just goes, puts the cigar in his mouth and drives off.
He's like,
I
like this one.
I like
this kid. Yeah.
Oh,
you could tell like you were I think you were saying too, Brock, that he enjoyed playing the role. You could tell
he's having the time of his life.
He was just, I could see why he was over the moon.
You don't get the announcement that James Gunn is there, and then you say Lobo bitch when for the very first text message that James Gunn gets once he gets them.
I can't wait to see him in more DCU projects. I really want to see more Lobo.
Like his own, either his own movie or like a mini series based on the paramilitary Christmas special.
I would be very okay that if he never gets his own movie, but just shows up in a shit ton of movies, but gets his own special of him just bounty hunting the most fucked up people you've ever seen. That to me would be pretty good. Because realistically, as long as you don't go overboard, most of that's practical of what he's wearing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can make outside of exteriors and like what you're making for like the set designs, you can make a pretty cheap Lobo movie as long as you do it right. It's basically Firefly.
Basically.
And that reminds me of one of my favorite quotes by Jane ever. This is the chain of command. This is the chain I beat you with until you understand what the command is.
There's a rotten command here.
Yeah, but all right. As far as negatives go, I don't know how you guys felt, but I felt like there was a lot of times, especially in what was the planet where the two people poisoned Kara?
Oh yeah, was that wasn't Bilky, was it?
It might have been Bilky. Yeah, I think that was Bilky.
Was it Bilky?
It could have been.
One that was named after the artist on the book. Yeah.
there was a lot of sometimes interior shots that were low lit that I felt were a bit too dark at points.
Yeah, I noticed that. Well, I noticed that more in my second viewing, but that could just be the screen being a little bit darker.
Yeah, that was the outside. Like, I don't have a ton of complaints about it. Other than that, it's just that sometimes they didn't quite know how to light certain stuff. But
I didn't care for the fact that like Krem and the brigands just kind of walk past Kara and everybody and just steal her ship.
Yeah, they're pretty much all
I didn't love that.
field.
that was weird.
I thought that was weird. I thought it was just weird that they would just show up there and just be like, oh, coincidentally, they just found her ship. Like,
Yeah, and didn't try to capture two perfect female specimens.
right, and did not even make a move. Like, it was just strange to me. I remember in the comics, too, they kind of just appear and steal her ship also, but, like, at least, I don't know, it kind of fit a little bit more. Like, you get away with that more in comics than you could in, like, a live-action adaptation to me.
And, like,
I don't know, it just felt very,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, this has to happen, so we're just going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also, in terms of the adaptation, I wish that they had made it more kind of like a Viking sort of bar
Oh,
in
for
the first one that Ruthie goes to, like it was in the comics, kind of. I
Okay.
do wish that it was a little more similar to that. But you know, that's not a deal breaker. Like, neither of those complaints are
something
like
you
deal
wish you
breakers
would have
for me. It's
had.
just something that I wish was a little bit different.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
For me, I might have I might have adjusted Lobo's like motivation, like instead of them going after different brigands,
Same one?
they should all just like focus on Krem, but for different reasons.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I did like. I liked the touch of Krem always eating other people's food. I thought that was really funny. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
That was funny. No
Why
matter
are you
what
doing
it was,
that
no
all
matter
the
what
time?
it was and how gross it was. What you got?
What did you think
Taylor?
of Krem? What did you think?
I thought he was okay.
A lot of people are complaining.
Yeah, I mean,
saying
he's
that
there
he's
for purpose,
uninterested.
and that's just basically it.
He was one of those people that was just kind of
Yeah.
there to be there.
He's
Yeah.
not supposed to be interesting. He's
Yeah.
just supposed to be somebody that you hate.
Yeah.
And that you can't wait for Kara and for Ruthie to
Yeah.
get their hands on him, you know?
Yeah.
To some degree.
Like, he was a person that's not meant to have a metric assload of screen time.
No.
So he's just kind of there to be the guy that has the thing that Kara wants to get to. The enemy in this movie for Kara is time.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And I
So-
thought too that I won't even try to pronounce his name, but the actor who played Krem, I thought he was good with the little like body language,
Oh, the
you know,
smoker
like that
talk
told us
thing?
so much.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
like no, not just that, but also just the way that he moved and the way that he
Okay.
sort of like invaded other people's spaces and stuff like that.
Okay.
I thought that was, you know, that told us pretty much what we needed to know about him.
Yeah, I'll give him that. It was a very good like physical acting.
Yeah, physical acting. Yeah.
Yeah, he nailed the like he was a lot more outwardly disgusting as a person
Yes.
compared to
Yes.
in the comics. Just his personality is an inversion of that swashbuckling hero.
Yeah. Trying to think.
Oh, another little complaint that I have. Ruthie's brother is the most stupid
Biggest
person.
idiot on the planet.
The biggest idiot ever.
Yeah.
I don't remember her having a brother in the original story.
I don't remember
Did she have,
either.
did she have like multiple siblings?
Maybe. Like I said,
Maybe.
it's been a long time since I've read that.
I would have to go back and reread that.
But also,
Yeah.
but it's like, to your point, he looks out,
Yeah.
sees people invading his home, and then it's like, I'm gonna go scare my sister. He doesn't even try to get at them. He scares his sister.
I was just like, what?
He got killed, and I'm like, yeah, you earned that.
Her entire family died because of a jump scare.
Of a jump scare.
Yes.
Like Uramura. They were giving it away. They were like, they were gonna leave. Okay, we'll take it. And he goes, but what if you murdered my whole family though? Because I'm a moron.
I feel like there was a slightly different motivation in the books.
There was, like, for other stuff there's that, but it's you literally just could have done the difference of where they're all standing still, and then he attempts to scare one of the brigands, then kills them, then kills the family, and you get rid of all that.
Yeah. It just really made him look stupid.
Like, monumentally so.
Like I didn't feel bad for him. Really.
No, it was just that's such a weird character choice. Don't.
Yeah, that was strange.
Did he even have a line other than "boo"?
No.
No. He's just listening to his music in his room, and then he just sees.
He just died.
He's like, I got an idea.
What? I just.
That was strange.
So weird.
So strange.
Okay. That if we're gonna talk about bad writing in the DCU, that is one of the worst. That is legitimately horrible.
That was pretty bad.
Krem doesn't also even he basically just I don't even think he sees Ruthie. He just
No.
yeah, because she just kind of awkwardly stands there while everything else is burning, but
she's kind of walking out. I think he might have eyeballed her one time, and he's like, "I'm gonna get this." Long as you stay over there, whatever is kind of the feel that I got, and then he literally comes out, throws an axe in his back, and goes. And then the parents decide, he wasn't even going to kill the parents, I don't think. And then all of a sudden they go, "Oh well, shit," and then start attacking him.
He doesn't. He just leaves. He also he could have just picked the key to the shed off the ground and then go get the weapons, but he doesn't. He just leaves, and then the movie's just that's the tragedy. Now onto the
Yeah, that just felt a little weird.
And it felt like we got to root these motivations real fast.
Oh yeah.
Which I get at approaching a 2-hour long movie. You're gonna get what you want to get in there. I did appreciate the little bit of showing backs of kind of the difference between the parents and how they felt about stuff with since obviously you don't have too many negatives, obviously, the difference between Jor-El and Zor-El, thank you. I like the keen difference between showing that and them sending him off. They mentioned, here's something I need to bring up too because it irritated me. I forgot about when we were talking on the Capes episode. They bring up the Kid Conqueror thing again, and then that was a lot of people's main complaint about why they hated it, and they changed the overall what I want to say origin of Superman. And I was talking with that same friend I was talking about the Twink Lobo thing. And I'm like, correct me if I'm wrong, now that I'm thinking about it. Isn't the message from the parents a complete and total invention in the Reeves movie? And then he went, yeah, you're actually right. They didn't do that in the original comic. Because we looked back at the scans of it, and that's not in the original. That's a complete and total invention of the Reeves movies. And everyone's like, this disrespects the original origin, Reeves comics and all. And I'm like, no. You cannot like it, but it's not like they changed a thing that wasn't there originally. Because the Reeves movies changed that too. But
It's kind of similar to how people have a very specific perception of Professor X, when in the comics he's a completely different character.
He is. He's kind of a dick at certain points. And Xavier doesn't do that much at all.
The early issues of X-Men, Xavier's such a dick.
Yes. But,
he's like, "Demerit Scott."
Yes.
So funny.
I like that they show genuinely, they're like, we don't want to send her away. And they wait as long as possible with the kryptonite poisoning to where they're only sending her away because they don't want her to get sick. And that to me was honestly very sweet, where they're like, no, you'll go with us. I'm sorry this isn't working out. We didn't want to leave you. And she gets go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that sequence was very beautiful. There's there's a line where Kara's father says like it's basically just not trying to like save one life. Like you're my daughter, so you're my life.
Yes.
Your mother's life. So that's why you have to survive. I thought that was really beautiful.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Differentiating her and Clark even more, that somehow the person that actually had an upbringing with their original parents has a little bit more of the anger issues because of what she actually had to experience versus Cal, who didn't have to experience this, got to get out of putting up with that kind of PTSD from having to get out of there. It's very good writing, in my opinion. The mom dying, God, that funeral like march off scene was really good.
Yeah, you kind of also emphasizes Kara's bond with Crypto as well because she meets him the day she's burying her mother. So I thought that was really cute.
Oh yeah, like he's just
like a nice little.
so tiny. Yeah, that was a really good touch, and that even the dad was like, "Yeah, you're taking the dog, getting the thing, and go."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Puppy Crypto.
Yeah,
That
and
was
like,
precious.
what was a really great scene too, and like I haven't heard a single person talk about it, is what it looks like to be Millie's first scene staying in an apartment on Earth, and she's just disassociating while Crypto's destroying the apartment.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
I love that scene
Love it.
because like she very clearly does not feel at home. She even just kind of looks uncomfortable like in the clothing that she's wearing. She's like what is this? Like why am I here?
Yeah. One thing I will say that they appreciated that I did that I was kind of scared they were going to do, they didn't make the Walkman music thing a giant part of her character like they did with Peter Quill. I'm very happy they didn't do that.
Yeah.
The way I took it was like she's listening to music just as an escape because it's like her first time on Earth. So that's why she's just like in the bar, like jamming out. And so I kind of just took that as like, that's kind of her own escape.
Yeah, like this was like her version of the scene in Man of Steel where Ma Kent was like, so make the world small.
That is my favorite scene in Man of Steel. My all-time favorite scene in Man of Steel. That is so good. But yeah, overall, like, I said it, I think I said it before you got in, Taylor. This movie, to a degree, and all the movies that are going to come out, I feel in honesty, and I'm not saying that you can't have critiques or whatever, because you can. This movie, to me, was better than than two movies, in my opinion, in Phase 1, and better than some of the movies that we got in Phase 2 or 3, if not just as good, and better than a good chunk of them in Phase 4. But because this movie has a pre-existing universe that a lot of people are still pissy about, it's getting judged in unnecessary hate for it. To where I believe they wouldn't be getting if those other movies simply didn't exist.
See, I feel like this movie is kind of just like a really good representation of kind of how people view films in general these days, because I think, like, especially after the first viewing, I mean, there's like parts in it that are good, but overall kind of just like meh. So in today's landscape, people kind of just like amplify things and they just can't like view things for what it is. Like with me with The Last Jedi, like I personally don't think it's a very good movie, but there's definitely things in it that I like, so I can appreciate the things that are good, and like I can appreciate things for what it was. But
I always screw it up. The Last Jedi's the middle one, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Yes.
The Rian Johnson one, yeah.
So I kind of feel like people kind of just like I don't know, can't just like focus on like things for what they are instead of like what they kind of
let a movie be okay.
Yeah, because I definitely
let a movie have flaws.
I didn't like it as much in my first viewing, but my second viewing kind of just like calmed down a little bit. And I was like, okay, there's definitely things I really appreciate, but in my opinion, I kind of just like things a lot of things could be a lot better. So like it's a movie that has a lot of potential, but it just didn't quite meet it. I feel like it's kind of like overall like.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are like there are two big criticisms that I kind of like still stick with me though,
Okay.
and that like I still Ruthie as a character I still don't really like because I feel like there's pretty much nothing to her except her tragedy, and um, I noticed this with the ending because I feel like they kind of baby Ruth a little bit too much, in that they don't allow her to like do anything cool besides kind of just like her one note like wanting revenge. Because at the end there's a scene where like they free the brides and like they have their own moment of like getting in a car and like shooting a brigand with like this huge like like harpoon or whatever, but Ruthie doesn't have that her own moment. Like I feel like she has a sword in the entire movie. Like just one scene with her using the sword would have been cool. I just feel like they didn't really like utilize her as well.
I get it. Like she could be more proactive in the
Yeah.
story than the movie allows her. Like
Yeah.
uh, like I can see that being a valid criticism. I just take issue with people just like flat out saying I don't like her at all because at least in the case with the comic, like she actually is the main character.
Yeah, you said like it's told from her point of view.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where I think they kind of had to balance the fact of that in a movie because, again, of what you said with criticism, that they would have said this isn't a Supergirl movie if they would have done more of it that way. So I get that to a degree. And I think what they were overall trying to do was that Kara was I think in the story, and I'm not saying it doesn't disprove your point, but I think what they were trying to do was that she's trying to not make Ruthie have to do something completely unnecessary as kill someone because she's trying to preserve her innocence as much as possible. Because they've still let her have some cool moments where she doesn't kill someone and like the cool moments with the escapes and other things like that. So she still had some stuff, but yeah, I get what you're saying to a degree there with some other things. Yeah, I'm trying to think other criticisms other than the lighting.
Oh yeah, there's my second big criticism is that I feel like Ruthie's I feel like the end isn't as justified as much because I feel like Kara's tragedy pretty much is like it doesn't relate really at all to Ruthie's tragedy because Kara's is a lot more about grief and Ruthie's is more about revenge. So Kara is always like, you can't do something because it'll mess you up, but we don't really have any indication of that Kara went through something similar. And like, I kind of just feel like they could have maybe spent a little more time on Kara, kind of dealing like how she dealt with grief on Earth, like making her a little bit more angry and jaded. But I just feel like Kara, like we don't really know where Kara's coming from because like we don't really like see her like do anything related to that.
That's kind of the issue of like this movie could have used another 10-15 minutes to
Yeah, it feels like they're just like they just needed one more dot to connect like Kara's tragedy to Ruthie's tragedy, just like one dot in.
Yeah, the best I can come up with now is just while the scale is definitely different, both Kara and Ruthie have like lost their family.
Yeah, just different ways of going about it. It's one of those things where you've got to try and balance everything in the movie, and you try to get too much into it, and then it bogs it down of like, okay, and after a while it can become, yeah, we get it. Your family died. That sucks. The rest of the movie has to happen, so you sometimes have to try and find a middle ground, and it doesn't always work out. Trying to think of anything else.
I have one more criticism, and while the content in the flashbacks are great. Like, we already talked about David Krumholtz's excellent speech in Argo City. I worry that, like, the flashbacks almost kind of take up time that could have been spent developing
other stuff.
Yeah, developing like the dynamic between Kara and Ruthie, or even Kara and Lobo.
Yeah.
So space them out a little bit more instead of having like the bulk of it just kind of like in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, could have. Again, that was with one where it felt like they were having pacing issues and whatever throughout it, but
I do wish they had like focused a little bit more, especially like cinematography wise, because like it looked very good. Like there's a lot of like memorable shots, but I feel like if they kind of just lingered on a couple, just like for like 1 or 2 seconds more, it would have felt a little bit more impactful. Because it just felt like, you know, everything happens pretty much too quickly, and so like you know the rest of the movie has to happen. So it kind of feels like there's not too much time to breathe, especially after like the middle planet where they escape in a dimensional rift or whatever. Like Kara just immediately goes and like you know screams, and there's a beautiful shot where she's screaming and then Crypto hears her. Because like his ear kind of lifts up a little bit. That's just like so great. But I feel like there's just not like much time to take it in as much, because she just immediately goes back and it was like, take me to Krem.
Yeah, I get that. I do, and I think there's, again, not trying to say that I feel like that was part of the point, is that she's not ever able to actually just calm down and think about anything, because she's never actually taken a moment to sit down and calmly think about anything. And again, with the movie being on a point of time, if, again, I'm just trying to think of the logic behind it. If we sat where we go to a great degree of telling about how little time she has, and then we would have done too much of lingering around, then I don't know if that would have affected or not. Again, I don't know. I'm not a movie maker, so I'm not going to comment on it, but I'm just trying to think of the reason behind they get in through it with that.
Yeah, pretty much agree with like what Mike said. Like you can pretty much tell this is like a first time screenwriting, so it basically just kind of just boils down to the script of like being a little bit more polished.
Yeah. So those things that could have had the secondary run through some other stuff, and that's stuff that you learn. Like, they made Iron Man without a script. Like, you could have it be good with a script and bad without, so... I mean, good without a script and bad with is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Like, I was just for shits and giggles, because this is going to go up on the Zeroing Hour playlist, where I was looking through, like, the last ones we did while I was doing chores and waiting for this to do. I re-listened to our review of the Joker sequel. Ooh. That movie had a script.
Did it?
Yeah, it did.
It wasn't just Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga randomly singing on set while people are trying to film a movie.
Oh yeah, that was something. Oh my gosh, that movie was so fucking bad.
That movie was $200 million set on fire.
That was yeah.
And even going back to like the film discourse and everything, there's parts in that movie that I really enjoy. It's just, you know, just a whole lot of other not great things.
Yeah, a whole lot of not other great things. That's one way to put it. Overall, I enjoyed it. Do I think it's a blockbuster smash hit to go among the greats of all time? No. But like Taylor said, we've said hundreds of times on the podcast, not every movie needs to be.
Yeah.
My God, a movie could just be okay.
Yeah, it is perfectly okay for this movie to just be okay. I personally think it's like it's not a home run, but it's a double.
Yeah, absolutely. That's perfectly fine. Like, to this day, people talk about the Incredible Hulk movie as if it shat in their children and made them eat it. That was the second movie. in the MCU.
I really like that movie, man. That gets too much undeserved hate.
Oh, I agree.
Like kind of speaking of Hulk, I think this movie kind of suffers a little bit from the problems of like making a Hulk movie, and that you always have to nerf Kara because who else? How else is she gonna fight? She's just gonna like annihilate all the brigands at all.
It's
all
the
at
biggest
once.
problem with Superman or Kryptonians or
Yeah.
anyone like that, period. You have to come up with a reason why the problem isn't just being solved. And it's going to be another big problem with a proper Flash movie. Why isn't he just solving the problem?
That's why the solution in the Flash TV series was always just run, Barry, run.
Run
Yeah.
faster, Barry.
Yeah, run faster, Barry.
Like-
Eventually, later seasons, they had 5 Flash characters, and they were still having problems with people with fire guns. Like, ow!
It's like this eureka moment. Like all the team gathers around. They're like, Barry, what if you ran a little bit
faster. A little bit faster.
A little bit. Like I know it's crazy, Barry, and you've never done it before, but we really need to do it.
Like, even Grant Gustin, after the show was done, he eventually just went like, man, you can only make so many seasons where like you have that guy and you still have problems. Like, that was one of my biggest critiques that they did with the DCU. You have Gotham and Metropolis next to each other. How do you still have crime in Gotham? It's across the river from Superman! If Batman's retired, Superman's just gonna be doing stuff. The fact that it took that long for him to have a problem? The Joker. Nope, sorry. What are you doing again? Thunk! Into the brig with you. Like, you can't have those cities next to each other. You just can't.
Yeah. That was really dumb.
Oh no, the Scarecrow's being bad. Where's the tear toxin? It's right there. Oh no, Harley Quinn's coming at you with a bat. Oh, that's too bad, man. The Riddler? Oh, wait, hold on. There's something in this box. I don't know how to open it. Let me X-ray vision inside the box really quick. Like,
I mean, and where was Wonder Woman too? Wasn't she based in Gotham at some point in the
no, she just
DCU or something?
she was spying on them in Gotham because of.
Yeah, she's just a floater. Because in the Justice League movie, she's like doing her own thing in Europe.
Yeah, she also has like an office inside the Louvre, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like she's an art curator or something.
Yeah, like something like that.
Yeah, and then she's just being very. she's just waiting to tell Kal-El no.
Kal-El, no.
No. Like, people rip on her a bit too much for her accent. It's just the problem is that when she screws up, it's bad.
I do love that the solution to that was just give everybody on Themyscira an accent.
Yeah.
Like
everybody. But anyway, getting back to this movie.
Man.
Overall, I enjoyed it. Do I think people should go watch it? Yes. Is it going to make its money back? No. Is it going to prevent them from making a Supergirl movie in the future? Absolutely. Does it mean she's just going to be a secondary character in Superman movies? Yes, but I'm fine with that.
Same.
I'm fine with that too. Honestly.
Again, more parallels to the Hulk. I know the circumstances are different, but as far as how they can use Kara in the future, like I'm totally cool with her being, for example, a supporting character in Man of Tomorrow, but then they want to. I know James Gunn doesn't like time travel, but someone is going to succeed him as a producer in the future, and if they want to do Legion of Superhero, there you go.
Yeah.
I thought that was already
true.
like kind of semi in the works because I remember he was working on a property that like was I think that involved Supergirl but wasn't Superman. I'm not entirely sure. I just remember something he was kind of working on that like definitely hinted at that.
Well, they could do it in present day too, because I mean they had the Justice Society and Black Adam, and that wasn't exactly meant to be current day. Whatever. That I forget that our Lord and Savior Noah Centineo is Adam Smashman. Wait, hold on.
Yes.
Since Bree made this, where is it? We're at the.
Yes.
Why is it showing up? There it is.
Oh my gosh.
Someday that's
Wow.
going to get back to him,
Wow.
and it's going to seem really creepy.
I really hope so.
But anyway, yeah, it's fine. If this is the low point of the DCU, I'm okay with that. Like, this is as bad as it gets, according to people. I'm okay with that.
You mean reasonable people?
Reasonable people, yeah. Sorry, reasonable people. Yeah,
Not the chuds.
Not the chuds that believe if a woman is on screen, it's automatically emasculating anyone else who's around them, because that's how that works.
Ow.
Anyway, yeah, we're gonna get out of here because some of us have some stuff to do. So, Mike, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Blue Sky at Renegade Pop Culture. You can also find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/Renegade Pop Culture. Find us on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Also find us on YouTube at Renegade Pop Culture or Organoid Zero. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
Kiona.
You can find me on Twitter, Neoplasmic24, also on Instagram and Threads at Neoplasmic81, and also on Twitch and Blue Sky at Neoplasmic.
Taylor.
You can find me in the comment section of the Zeroing Out podcast every Tuesday. You can find me on PlayStation playing Destiny at Umbreon_296. Yeah.
It's been fun playing with you, man. It's been fun.
You can find me at Organoid Zero, mainly on Twitch and YouTube. If any of you are into cosplaying and the like, you can find me on my Instagram. Over at Organoid Zero, the next conventions I'll be going to is Kitsune Con next weekend, and then 2D Con in the Twin Cities in... I can't think. August. Yeah, that's the one. But until next time, we will see you all later.
Bye. Bye.